All right, so we have this first gen Tacoma in here. We're going to be doing a back half and a couple little small things, but the biggest thing we're doing is the back half. It's already been cut up a little bit. Just got to cut the rest off and design new. Decided when we start the project, we're going to throw it on the scales, and it's about 47.74, 75 right now to start. Let's see what it is when we're done. All right, so to start with the new back half setup, we're just going to strip this down. So everything that's extra here, or pretty much everything, will take off, and that way we can start fresh. All right, so with all the accessories removed off the top, now we can pop all these rivets out, pull the sheet metal off, and see what we're working with. All right, so all that main stuff is stripped down. We can kind of see what we're looking at. We got this big plate here that is on top of the coilover mounting, so we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do with that, if we wanna strip it down a little bit or take it off completely and make something new. And then we gotta figure out how to clean all this stuff up since it was all cut off previously. And then get this fuel cell out, batteries out, or the fuel pump. Get all of it stripped down so we can start cutting. All right, so in order to remove the fuel cell, we got to drain some fuel out of it. So I'm just gonna pull the lines right here, drain them into a couple cans, and then we'll have to remove the batteries and whatnot as well. All right, made a little bit of an adapter here, a little bit ghetto, but to the AN fitting, so we can drain it straight into the tanks. So let's get this thing drained. So with this fuel tank being a pickup style, there's no way to gravity drain it. So there's a relay in there in the system right here, and just a quick jumper wire between 30 and 87, and we'll drain the tank as much as we can into these couple cans, and then pull that out and should be good. Well, looks like we only got about 10 gallons out of it. So now that we got that out, we can disconnect everything and pull this out. All right, we got the entire top side stripped down. Fuel cell, everything's out, fuel pumps, all of that. Now all we have left is the batteries down there below and the coilovers. We're going to have to pull the springs so we can set this thing down at full bump and see what our clearances are working with. And then the bump stops are kind of stuck in there. They're not wanting to move even though they're loosened up, so I had to figure that out as well. Fuel tank that came out of it, I think it's around 40 gallons, not exactly sure. This one is 20 gallons. This rig used to be set up for longer trips. For rock crawling, 20 gallons should be plenty. So we're gonna put this in, save us a little bit of weight, and allow us to lower the weight a little bit. All right, battery's out. We got a little bit of a mess of wiring to clean up, but everything's out, so let's pull the springs on the coilovers. All right, so barely any weight on the tires, and there's no preload on the spring right now, so pretty much just undo the bolt and drop the springs out. All right, so now that everything's all stripped down, we know where full bump is at. We know for the most part everything clears. We have a few little issues with clearance right now, but that will be taken care of when we cut it all off. So now we just got to figure out where to cut it to start building the new stuff. We are going to try to keep the coilover mounts. That's just a lot to redo if we don't have to, and then tie into it. So if we can figure that out, we should be able to get this tube work knocked out pretty quick. Alright, well, the back's cut off. The only thing left is to clean everything up, and the coilover mounts, which also get cleaned up, so. And then I can do some tube work. Got all the tubes cleaned up, ready to start on tube work, new tube work. Thanks for watching.